Welcome back for another flow. Today, we're going to be focusing on our nervous system and moving from the stress and tension and fight or flight of our sympathetic nervous system and helping our essence and our bodies and our energy and our thoughts and emotions move into more of a rest and restore into our parasympathetic nervous system. Unfortunately, we live in a world right now where most humans are surviving in that fight or flight state. That is where they're living. That's where most of their experiences are coming from, their actions, their thoughts, their words, their being. But our bodies can't sustain that. So we need to learn how to re-regulate our nervous system and realign to live more in this more grounded, peaceful, resting type of state. Not to say that we don't need our sympathetic nervous system. We do. We need to allow our body to instantly go into that fight or flight mode when needed, but we don't want to live there. So today's practice is really going to be about helping to regulate the nervous system, try to move more into and experience more of that kind of peaceful state within the body. So let's get started. And I'm just going to start in any comfortable position. I'm in Virasana and I actually have a block. So if you'd like to follow suit, you can come to your knees and shins, go ahead and move the calves out from underneath you and sit down either onto the floor or onto a block. And if you already know that does not feel good in your knees and your hips, then you can come into any other variation that does. But let's go ahead and take our left palm into our lap and our right palm on top, and then just let the thumbs press towards one another. And then when you feel called to, float the eyes closed, or at best, just soften your eyelids. And just take a moment or two just to settle in and start to notice. And before we do any of the beautiful work, I want you just to maybe take a moment and scale and recognize, where's your stress or your tension levels at? Rate them 1 to 10, 10 being the highest amount of stress one can experience, and 0 being the absolute least amount. Be honest with yourself. It's only you who knows the answer. So be real. This sometimes can be humbling when we stop and ask our bodies and our minds, how truly stressed are we? And just start to take a nice full deep inhale, start to feel the belly expand, the lungs, the heart. Open up the mouth and exhale. Release it, let it all go. Inhale to fill. Exhale and release. Again, inhale and exhale. Now I want you to take your right hand. I want you to take your pointer fingertip right to the space between your eyebrows, your third eye. And we're going to do what we call Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril breathing. So as you inhale through both of your nostrils, take your right thumb and close off your right nostril. Keep the left open and exhale through the left nostril. Inhale through the left. Close the left with your ring finger. Exhale, open the right. Inhale through the right. Close it with the thumb. Open the left. Exhale. Inhale right. Excuse me, left. Close it with the ring finger. Open the right. Exhale through the right. Inhale. Alternate to the other side and exhale. Pause for the inhale here on this side. Close, alternate to the opposite side and exhale. Do a few more cycles of breath here, giving our brains the opportunity to balance the left and the right hemispheres of the brain, connecting to balancing out our strengths and our weaknesses, the yin and the yang. Let's together do one more cycle. After that last exhale, release the hands back to the lap. Keep the eyes closed. And now just inhale and exhale in and out through the nose. And start to notice how the shoulders may drop a little bit more. The tongue may drop into the mouth a little bit more, or you may feel your jaw has relaxed a little bit. Notice how the body is starting to communicate with you. And try to not use your mind to think about how it feels in your body, but really feel the senses of your body communicating, the tingling, the pressure, the compression, the connection, the grounding, maybe a temperature change in the body. Also, notice when your mind or your ego wants to chime in and say you should be doing more or you're not feeling what you should be. Recognize that word should. And instead, don't label, don't judge, don't attach any meaning to anything, and just be in the experience of it. And then as you inhale, bring your hands to your heart space, maybe a smile to your face. And I want you to call in one word or even finish the sentence, I am. This is a powerful way to set an intention or an affirmation that feels aligned to you right here, right now, and something that you're striving for, a goal to feel strong, to feel present, to feel peaceful. So by saying I am and just finishing that sentence with that word, you're starting to affirm it. You're starting to change the relationship with it in your mind, your body, your heart, and your soul. And eventually we become it. You can certainly keep your eyes open or closed. As you inhale, bring the arms out and up. Maybe drop the head back and look up past those fingertips. And then as you exhale, drop the fingertips down to the earth. And I want you to drop your right ear down towards your right shoulder. Stay here or maybe play with a little placement of the head. You can rock the head forwards or backwards. Just kind of breathing into the left side of the neck. And then inhale, let the head come back up to center and take your left ear down. Breathing now into the right side of the neck. And same thing. And offer in or invite in some of those little subtle movements to find that sweet spot. That moment where it feels really good, like you are doing something helpful and useful for your body. And then inhale, let the head come back to center. Shrug the shoulders up to the ears and exhale down and away and up and down. We'll do one more, shrugging them up and down. And then let's reverse them. Take them in that opposite direction for 3, for 2, and 1. Inhale, arms will reach once again. This time, lower those right fingertips down. Take a nice little side body stretch here. Drop that left shoulder down as you gaze down towards the earth, but really feel as you're reaching out through those left fingertips. Then inhale, open it back up where we started, and then come all the way up to that stacking seated position. We'll lower those left fingertips down. We'll reach the right arm bicep to ear and take it in that opposite direction. Staying rooted and grounded in that right sits bone as you breathe all up and down the right side into the right rib cage. And then we'll drop that right shoulder down as you maybe gaze down towards the earth. Inhale, open it up, always knowing just to extend the arm as much as you can. Inhale, reach those arms back up. And then we'll exhale, lower everything back down to your thighs. Taking your right hand onto your heart space, and with your fingertips, I want you just to start to tap your chest like in a counterclockwise movement. Close the eyes and just continue those deep belly breaths, breathing into the belly and breathing out through the nose, but deflating and feeling everything draw back into that natural state. And then inhale and exhale. By tapping our chest here, we're starting to activate alongside with the breath too, especially making it a little bit more powerful. We're starting to activate that parasympathetic. We're starting to activate our vagus nerve. And we're starting to enhance the communication of the mind and the body. The mind and the body, the way that is said is very easy and rolls off the tongue easily, but I prefer body to mind. We want the body speaking to the mind and not the mind talking to the body. We'll do this for 3, for 2, inviting in that sense of calm, peace, and connection, and 1. Release. Let's go ahead and come off of the block for a moment. We'll come into a tabletop position, extending those legs out into a plank pose, and just take a moment here and just kind of pedal the knees like you're taking that little plank for a walk. So just bending one and go right to the other. And then inhale, lift those hips up and back to your downward facing dog. Take a few moments here. This can also be done into a tabletop if you need to, if the down dog doesn't feel good. Mm, Just take a moment, close the eyes, wiggle the hips, maybe nod your head yes or shake the head no. And then we'll drop down to the knees. Inhale, moving into that cow spine, tailbone lifts, belly draws down, gaze up. Exhale, feel everything scoop in towards the midline as you reach the spine to the ceiling. Inhale, moving into your cow. Exhaling into cat. And one more time here, inhale and exhale. Inhale, come back to neutral. And we're going to take that left hand into the center of the body. Inhale, sweep that right arm up towards the ceiling. And then just move through a few arm circles. You can circle it in about 3 times in one direction. And we'll take it 3 times in that opposite direction. And then we're going to set ourselves up as we reach the arm back up into a thread the needle. Take and thread it all the way down and through, resting onto that right cheek and temple and shoulder, and maybe walk those left fingertips out just a little bit. Just feeling the sense of grounding and knowing that all that is necessary is breath, breathing in and breathing out and connecting to how this feels in that right shoulder into the shoulder blade, how grounded and connected this beautiful position feels. And then slide that left hand back under the shoulder if it's not there already. Inhale, unwind that right arm back up towards the sky. And then exhale, lower it down, tuck the toes, and come back and sit back into that kneeling position. Okay. Now I'm going to show you from front, but you can stay exactly as you are. I want you to take that right arm on top, left arm will come on top of it, and either take your hands to your shoulders or slowly start to come into eagle wrapped arms. We're going to work through a couple seated eagle cat cows. So your right arm is underneath. Your hands can either be to shoulders or you're binding them to touch, Garudasana. Okay, or a version of it. Inhale, reach those fingertips up, let the head drop back, maybe let that tailbone flare back behind you, like that cat spine. And then exhale, tuck your chin to the chest, round through the spine, and drop the elbows towards your chest or belly. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. One more time, inhale and exhale. Inhale, come back to neutral. Release the arms up and then just start to shake those arms out. Shake the arms, maybe a little shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. Shake, shake, shake. Good. And then we'll release, come back to that tabletop. So we'll do all of that on the other side. This is going to be a nice little short and sweet nervous system regulation session. Inhale, reach that left arm up, and then just start to circle that arm bone around. Beautiful thing about yoga and all the asanas that it provides, reverse your circles. There's so many things that we can do, but I want to give you something short and sweet and easy to do and to practice to regulate your nervous system. Inhale, reach the arm up, and then exhale, take and thread it all the way down and through, lowering that left shoulder and side of the head down. Maybe walk those fingertips a little bit further out to create that length and space in the right side body. Just come back to the breath. Embrace this moment of stillness, time to surrender, and the time to become curious, explore how the body is communicating to you. How does it feel in the side bodies, and the shoulder, and the hips? And then inhale, slide that right hand back under the shoulder, unwind, reach that left arm up towards the ceiling, and then exhale, lower it down. We'll tuck the toes. We'll come back to that kneeling position. And then this time we'll come back one more round of eagle wrapped arms. Left arm will come out right on top, either hands to your shoulders or find that double bind, right? The palms press towards one another. We lift the arm bones up first, starting position. Then we inhale, start to drop the head back, keep continuing to reach the arms up, and then exhale, press and round like that cat cow. Just a different variation, different expression. Inhale and a different experience. And exhale, round. One more time here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, slowly release, reach the arms up, shake it out, shake it, shake it, shake it. And then I want you to come into another comfortable seat, whether that's in that Virasana Heroes pose or maybe Sukhasana. All right. We're just going to do one more last thing that is really fun, really cool, and helps to not only regulate the nervous system and bring that sense of calm, but it also deepens the body mind connection and it helps to relax the body and the fascia. So I want you to take both of your hands and kind of like the peace fingers, you're going to kind of go in front of your ear and back behind the ear. And you're just going to rub. I'll come up a little bit closer so you can see. So one in front, one in back. And you're just going to kind of rub in front of the earlobe and back behind there a little bit. And you can even close your eyes and then take a few deep breaths. And then release the hands down towards the earth. Okay. And then I want you to look all the way past that left shoulder. And notice your range. This is key. Notice your range. Okay. And then come back to center and turn to the other side. Notice your range on that side as well. And then inhale, come back to center. Now with those same fingers, start to take and just actually rub the earlobes. So you can see I'm just like rubbing all the way around. Sorry, I have my AirPods in, but I'm rubbing all around. You want to get in the earlobes all around, and you're going to start to feel a little bit of heat. You might start to feel a little tingling. Obviously, you're hearing what's going on because you're so close to, obviously, the biggest one of the senses there of your hearing. But you're just rubbing all around and closing the eyes. Again, I love to do this work with my eyes closed because then it really helps me feel into what it is that I'm doing and create that sense of the body. Okay. And so just do it again for maybe 3, 4, 2, and 1. Hands back to your thighs, shoulders down and away from those ears. Look past that left shoulder or right shoulder. Inhale back to center. Go to the other side. Now, my bet is that you are experiencing a different range on both sides. One side might be a little bit more limited, and that's okay too. No labeling, no judging. We're just noticing. But some of that little work there, just that simplicity of just rubbing the ears and helping the fascia to just soften and relax a little bit helps to create a better communication from the body to the mind and regulate the nervous system. So I'm going to have you just close your eyes for a few more moments. And your hands can either be down on your thighs. You can also lie down in a better, a more comfortable position if you want to go into a shavasana and take what you need, or you can stay seated, but just close the eyes, feeling into the areas of your body that is touching the earth, letting it support you, softening into it, knowing that you are supported so that you can soften and relax. And just start to allow your breath to become natural. And check back in with the body, noticing where there was once tension in certain areas. Bring your awareness back into those areas, whether it's the jaw, the shoulders, the pelvis, the pelvic floor. And just notice if some of that tension, constriction, or a tense feeling has subsided even just a little bit. I asked you at the beginning of this to rate your stress and tension levels. So take a few moments to do the same thing now. Once again, being honest with yourself. And if you need a little bit more work, if that number is still a little higher than you prefer, just stay with your eyes closed a little longer and find those breaths, or come back to this practice when you feel you need to regulate and realign. So I will leave you here from my heart to yours. Namaste.